So I had the opportunity to talk with my friend Jim Grinstead of the Scams and Cons podcast about pretend, and I think if you like my show, you're going to love Jim's show. Check it out.
The crimes we usually talk about on Scams and Cons are about money. But when it comes to impersonators, swiping cash isn't always the goal. Their actions are still criminal, but motives can be much more sinister. It's time for me to introduce Javier Leiva. Javier hosts and produces a podcast called Pretend. It's about people who pretend to be someone else. It's a great podcast, and I highly recommend it. You'll find a link to it in the show notes. I invited Javier on the podcast to talk about imposters who aren't in it for the money. His thinking on that came after a conversation with his cousin.
I knew that my cousin was a bad guy. Like, everybody has a black sheep in the family, and I knew that he was about to go to federal prison, but I didn't know why, or I didn't know the details.